Let's just stand once. Shobna ma'am. Ma'am, can just once give her names like Shobna ma'am. Lalita Mohan ma'am. Saptami ma'am. Thank you so much. And please. Thank you ma'am. So thank you all the acharyas for guiding the children and for an excellent, we have a different kind of program on the environment, followed by a very nice bhajan, and started by a good speech in Tamil on the environment once again. Thank you, ma'am. So we have 3 or 4 key announcements to make. Overall, first we will, last week, we had the 148th Foundation Day of the Arya Samaj, and the event was held at Delhi and was presided over by the Honorable Home Minister, Amit Shah ji. We had just a couple of clippings. We're trying to play it last week. The audio was not great. So we'll just do a quick, 3, 4, 5 minutes on some of the key aspects of his speech. And the last video, I will also once discuss specially after, we look at it. This was held in Delhi.
श्रद्धा से घिरे हुए पूरे देश को जनजोड़ कर जागरूक किया, ढेर सारी कुरीतियों से मुक्त किया। सत्य क्या है वो सत्यार्थ प्रकाश के माध्यम से समग्र जगत के सामने रखने का काम महर्षि दयानंद ने, और महर्षि दयानंद ने अंग्रेजों के शासन के सामने निर्भीकता के साथ ढेर सारे लोगों को क्रांतिवीर बनने का प्रेरणा दिया, आजादी के लिए लड़ने का हौसला दिया। और महर्षि दयानंद ने आर्य समाज के रूप में एक ऐसी परंपरा, महर्षि दयानंद जी ने आर्य समाज की स्थापना की थी। आर्य समाज की स्थापना कर महर्षि दयानंद ने सालों से सोई इस देश की आत्मा को जागरूक करने का काम किया था। महर्षि दयानंद वो व्यक्ति थे जिन्होंने वेद व्यास के बाद वेदों के उद्धार का काम किया, वेदों को मूल स्वरूप में लाने का काम।
Is it audible at the back?
देश की सांस्कृतिक और बौद्धिक जागरण का जिनने बड़ी तीव्र गति से शुरुआत की, अनेक क्रांतिकारियों के प्रेरणा स्रोत रहे, और सबसे बड़ी बात, देश में अनेक सामाजिक सुधारों के वो जनक रहे। और महर्षि दयानंद जी का इस देश पर, ये पूरी सृष्टि पर युगों युगों तक उपकार रहेगा कि उन्होंने आर्य समाज की स्थापना कर अपने विचारों को और कार्यों को स्थायित्व देने का काम किया। मैं आज इस अवसर पर आज जब भी आप लोग भी कल से करिएगा, जब भी मैं किसी को नमस्ते करता हूं तो महर्षि दयानंद को जरूर याद करता हूं। महर्षि दयानंद न होते तो हम सब भी हेलो कहते होंगे। आज हम जब नमस्ते कहते हैं, हमेशा याद करिएगा, इस सर्वकालीन एवं संपूर्ण भारतीय अभिवादन महर्षि दयानंद की देन है, और इसको भारत में कभी नहीं। इन्होंने ऋग्वेद के वाक्य को, एक ही परमात्मा को।
So, Arya Samaj was established in the year 1875, and the background of the institution was that at that point of time, there were a lot of superstitious beliefs in the society. Women were not allowed to read, Vedas were being misinterpreted, a lot of those challenges existed in the society. And all of those were being once again attributed to the Vedas. So people were saying casteism is there in the Vedas. Women should not read because they are in the Vedas. But no one was really reading the Vedas properly. And that's where a lot of this confusion exists in the society. And at that point of time, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, who was born to a typical Brahmin family in Gujarat, he felt that there is something more to it. It cannot just be such a superficial interpretation of the Vedas. And he then spent a lot of his time and energy to understand the Vedas, which basically means that you need to understand Ashtadhyayi, Nirukta. There is a certain body of knowledge that you need to really go through and understand so that you can interpret the Vedic mantras in the right perspective. And that's what Swami Dayanand Saraswati did. And then he said that, listen, knowledge is the fountainhead of every aspect of life. Knowledge is also the fountainhead of religion, of dharma. So he set up this Arya Samaj in 1875, and based on that, in 1886, the DAV also was set up. So Dayanand Anglo-Vedic was set up way back in the year 1886. It's a 137-year-old history of the institution to which your children go to and we all belong to. So, as the Home Minister pointed out, the word Namaste, right, was given to us by Swami Dayanand. He said, listen, this is a Sanskrit word, Namaha plus Te, right? I bow to you. That's what Home Minister was referring to. That whenever he says the word Namaste, he remembers Swami Dayanand Saraswati. And now all of you know, the word hello, the way we kind of acknowledge each other, is how many years old? Hardly. It came only in the year 1800s, about 1827. The word hello first found its way into the English dictionary. Right? At that time, hello was used more as a way to draw attention to, slightly angry mode of drawing attention to. Right? Now it's become our common lingua. But overall, namaste, right? The way we address each other is the right Indian traditional way. And COVID in some sense also got all the world leaders also to say namaste rather than a handshake. In the olden Indian Vedic tradition, it was always folding our hands, bowing to the other and greeting. This handshake has become more of a modern, more of a current, last few hundred years, more of a Western system. Otherwise, and if you think about it, right, like your hands could not be clean, the other hands could not be clean, right? We don't know, right? And that's why in COVID we're all refraining from, right, doing that. But our Shastras really kind of, thought about some of these things much, much earlier. And Namaste was, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, he wrote in Satyat Prakash that Namaste is a good possible Indian way, a cultural way to greet each other. And interestingly, again, it's a concept of mutual respect. It can be said by the younger to the older and the elder to the younger. It's not just only one way. It is both ways, right? So it's a mutual thing. It's not about one being at a higher pedestal, other being at a lower pedestal. That is not the case with Namaste. Next. Also, this week we had the solemn occasion of Navami, and which marks the birth of the great yogi, Sri Ram. Now, with regard to this great yogi, once again, there are a few misconceptions in terms of the way we understand this great yogi. What is the popular thought process around Sri Ram? That he was a seventh avatar, isn't it? Seventh avatar of Vishnu, right? He was seventh avatar of Vishnu. So once again, my dear children, parents and others sitting out here, the Vedas, if you go back to the root, does not really talk about this avatar as such. Vishnu, yes. Shiva, yes. They are the names, the qualities of that one God. They are not some different n number of gods. The way we have created. The way you can have one person who can be affectionate, who can be hardworking, who can be industrious, who can be gentle, who can be polite. It is referring to that one person X, isn't it? Right? Now these qualities that you are referring to, does not make it 10 different people. It is still that one person who is having different adjectives, different ways to refer to that one person. Similarly, the Vedas clearly talk about one supreme God, one supreme force, and it has different qualities. So Vishnu represents a particular quality, Shiva represents a particular quality, Ganesh represents a particular quality, Saraswati represents a particular quality. There are over 100 names of that one supreme force, right? Somewhere over the line, due to misinterpretation, we have started thinking these are all different gods. And when you do that, what happens? It leads to misunderstandings. It leads to mutual, you insulted my God, this is my God, this is his God. All this confusion with regard to religion starts coming in when we look at this interpretation. But if you go back to the Vedas, it refers to one God, one supreme God. So as far as this Yogi Ram is also, the great, Lord Rama also is concerned, he also was actually, he was a great yogi, but not the supreme force. He was not the supreme force. Today, the Yoga Shastra gives us the beautiful definition of God. It says, Klesha, Karma, Vipaka, Ashaya, Aparamrishtaha, Purusha Vishesha, Ishvaraha. We're all, we like evidences, we like science, so we all try to define things, isn't it? There's a beautiful definition of God. It says God is one, who is that special person, that special being, that special consciousness, who is devoid of four things, who is devoid of dukkha, who is devoid of sakam karma. There is nishkam karma and sakam karma. God is one who is devoid of dukkha. God is one who is devoid of sakam karma. God is one who is devoid of any phala, and God is one who is devoid of any samskara or impressions. That's the supreme force, that is God. As far as Sri Rama was concerned, he was a great yogi. The kind of sacrifice he did, we all know about it. I will not get into it. Right? But that supreme force is different. Sri Rama also had some dukkha in his life, yes or no? Did he have some dukkha? Yes. Sri Ram also had some dukkha in his life. Okay. Sri Ram also had some sakam karma. See, when you are born, you eat, you sleep. Why do you eat? Because you have hunger, isn't it? You sleep because you feel tired. There's a reason why you do that. So the God, Sri Ram also had some dukkha in his life. Sri Ram also had some sakam karma. Right? When Sri Sita was abducted, obviously a lot of dukkha. No doubt about it. Isn't it? And Sri Ram also was in a way tricked into believing God can never be tricked. God will never have dukkha. Right? Sri Ram also was a great yogi. So we need to understand some of these things in the right perspective. Right? So that we understand dharma well and are able to follow it. So on this great occasion, Sri Ram is a great source of inspiration for all of us. And we need to take the few great qualities that the great yogi had. And when we start thinking that he was a great yogi and he was actually like any one of us, you also start thinking that let me imbibe those qualities. When you start thinking it is God, then what you feel that's a different level. How can I be like God? Then you stop. You don't even make it as a bar that I can achieve that. No. Can someone make a sacrifice the way that Sri Ram did? Yes. The answer is yes. Why do we believe that today we cannot do it? We need to have a self-confidence. Even today, there are people who do a lot of sacrifice. The world today, still a lot of wonderful people are there in this world. We don't need to have a pessimistic attitude that, these are all older times. That time possibly was God, hence he could do it. No, today also someone can make this kind of sacrifices. Look at the way our soldiers, the way, sometimes they look at the great valor, the sacrifice that they make. Right? So all of those things are, even today, people can derive inspiration, but they will do that when they feel that he was like us, but a great yogi. So, I just thought I'll just clarify this, the perspective that the Vedic Dharma presents, on Sri Ram. Next, I think. The Samashti Punarja. Also, my dear parents, the Vedic Dharma talks about the Yajyopavit. There are 16 samskars that the Vedic Dharma talks about. Starts from conceiving till the last samskar is of death, which is the eternal truth. This is called the Antim Samskar. So, and one of those 16 samskars, if you look at the childhood of a child, one of the samskars is your Upanayan Samskar. So once again, with regard to this samskar, as I was speaking about a while earlier, people have a lot of superstitious beliefs. So people believe that this is only for the Brahmins, which is an absolute wrong interpretation. Today, if you think about it, the whole casteism which has divided society was never based on birth. Was never based on birth. We erroneously, due to wrong judgment and sometimes due to vested interest, we have started thinking it is by birth. The answer is absolutely no. Right? The Shastras talk about that anyone who gets into education, who is studying, who is learning at least some aspect of the Vedas, has the complete, right to wear this. And why do you wear this? There's a reason behind it, right? Because it is a marker for you. It is something like a marker for you that reminds you every day of your duties in life. There are 3 rinas that we have. What are 3 rinas? Pitra rin, Dev rin, Acharya rin. So we have certain rinas or certain obligations towards our parents, towards our acharyas, towards the society. It reminds us, there are 3 threads in that. It reminds us of our everyday duties. So why shouldn't a non-Brahmin also not wear it? And first of all, as I mentioned, by birth, no one is a Brahmin. By birth, we all are born absolutely equal. Then based on our qualifications, based on our study, etc., we start having different professions. Today, the way someone is a doctor, someone is a chartered accountant, someone is an engineer, right? All this profession, someone is a soldier, someone is a politician, someone is a factory worker. All these professions were broadly classified into these 4. Today, the way a son of a doctor is not expected to be a doctor, right? That's the same way these 4 professions, it is interchangeable. So for the first time, we are conducting this Samashti Upanayan. It is open to people of children from all castes. Because all of them are coming to school. All of them are getting education. So all of them are absolutely eligible for it. And secondly, as I mentioned now, it is 3 rinas. Does a girl also have the rina towards her parents? Yes. Boys also have it. Girls also have it. Right? So it is applicable to both the genders. Last week, I was in this school in Pune called Gnana Prabodhini. Right? It's a school wherein, for example, every year, for a particular class 8, you can also Google out, very traditional, very cultural school, the school for the gifted children. Even our current, who's our current Chief of Defense Services? CDS. Who's the current CDS, Chief of Defense, or ex-army? Navami, right? I think. No, he was again from Gnana Prabodhini. Mr. Navami, correct. So again they have for both the boys and the girls of class 8. Every year they have it. Right? So we can definitely, I will also urge all the parents to register. We are trying to see if we can have it slightly more for classes 5 and 6 onwards, not for not the very younger children. Then we will have it next year in the following years. But this is something which is a marker for your children. And the samskars is how life develops, life evolves, right? Because the samskars are the impressions that are there in your mind. So I will, urge all of you to opt for it. It's on 23rd of April, just after the exams at 7 a.m. It will be there, it will be conducted over here. There will be limited seats. For the Supanayan, we are also, once you register, we'll put you onto a WhatsApp group. There will be some counseling as well. And then further details we'll share only with those parents who are interested. Next. Also, outside, we had this, today you saw a beautiful, program on saving environment. Today, if you look at the way agriculture is being done, what we are consuming today, it is very, very concerning. If you think about it, the number of cancer cases, etc., each one of us over here, one, I'm sure that within your second degree of contact, you will definitely have a few cancer patients. It's absolutely there. All of this, the fundamental root is that we are not taking care of our environment. Today, this Agnihotra also is to take care of the environment. So the environment, we are all obligated to ensure that we take care of our environment, and towards that, we have started from the Arya Samaj this initiative about natural farming. Once again, there's a difference in terms of our understanding. There is obviously chemical-based farming, there is organic farming, and there is something called natural farming. there is a difference between organic and natural. Chemical based we all understand, right? But there's a difference between organic and natural. Both are non-chemical based, but there is a subtle difference. Today, if you take organic farming, what is organic farming has in a way become like a fad, right? So in organic farming, instead of again going back to factories and say, hey, listen, don't give me organic chemical, don't give me the chemical, give me organic chemical. Like give me something which has plant-based, give me that product. You once again go back to factories and get some spray, get something and you put it on the plants, or you use vermicompost. Now overall, we have seen what happened in Sri Lanka. Do you remember that in Sri Lanka what happened? Right, they tried to go blindly into organic farming and they started importing a lot of the so-called organic chemicals from China, right? And their entire agriculture went for a toss. What we need to go back is the way, the fundamental way natural farming works is that look at a forest. In a forest, do you put any kind of chemical? Whether from a factory or from otherwise? No, right? It's all based on nature, right? Prakritik. So you go back to Mother Nature and it will tell you how to grow your plants. So as far as natural farming is concerned, you don't need any input from beyond your village or beyond your farm. The whole concept is nothing needs to come into the farm from outside, from a factory. Nothing is required, right? You can do your agriculture based on inputs on the farm. So basically it is based on it's called your Bhumyam or it's called your Jivamritam, which is based on your cow dung, your cow urine, flour, chane ka atta we say, and a few such items which are available typically on the farm or in just the nearby village. So based on that, Arya Samaj has embarked on this initiative about 8 months back. On about 4 farms, natural farming is going on, and some of the produce of that is available today when you go outside, for all of you to take. We don't believe in, see again, organic means the price becomes like 2.5 times. We believe that's not required. Today, the cost of input is lower, the yields also are good. The way we have all been fed that organic has to be like much costly. So it is not applicable to the common man. Only the rich go and buy most of us will not be buying from the organic farms, organic shops. We all typically go and still buy from a Padamudur or these kind of basic shops, which is what we all eat, most of us, right? So rather than making it an elitist product, it is something that can be for the masses, right? And so and the way we do it is, we have volunteers who basically are there who help sell these products, and whatever amount you pay through a GPay goes directly to the farmer. The farmer also sees much better realization. For example, if you buy a kilo of tomato today here, maybe I don't know what is the price, 22 rupees. If the farmer will possibly get only about 4 rupees, which goes to a Coimbatore market and comes away. Over here, we try and ensure that the farmer gets the entire 20-25 rupees. Why are we doing it? Because of service. It's important today for social institutions, for all of us to help strengthen the farmer. The kind of risk a farmer takes, none of us take in our businesses, none of us take in our jobs. Right? So the farmer needs to be strengthened. The farmer cannot sustain those 3 rupees, 4 rupees a kilo. The farmer needs to see the retail price. Right? So we're helping the farmer to the farmer takes care of logistics cost. The farmer does a 10% handling charges as donation to the Arya Samaj, but the balance entire amount, the first amount goes to him. Right? So whatever you pay directly to the farmer. And they do it at the same rates as which it is there in the nearby shops, not at the organic store rate. Right? So that's the initiative that is now we have started. So a lot of produce keeps coming. So today also we kept at the Arya Samaj. Also we need some more volunteers for taking care of some of these things, especially in Palikarnai as well, since Palikarnai parents are there today. We will be setting up, once the produce quantity grows, right now quantity is still a little limited, we will be setting up a counter at Palikarnai campus also. Indeed, at Palikarnai as well, I just forgot, we have a few cents wherein natural farming is going on. Are you aware of it? Some teachers I'm sure must be aware, right? So we'll see some produce that will come from your Palikarnai, because since we have additional land and construction is yet to commence on the second phase of Palikarnai, we are using it to once again look at natural farming, which your children also will be exposed to, but the produce will not be much. But whatever it is, we will be trying to sell it at the Palikarni campus. So we also require volunteers as well. So please be in touch with the Arya Samaj office, and we will try and take some of these very meaningful initiatives forward from here on. Next, anything else? So the few announcements that we had. Now we will have the meal prayer. Will a few children like to volunteer? Come. We'll also possibly try and start once a month the same satsang at the Palikarni campus as well. We will get back to you for the details over a period of time. Memberships for Arya Samaj are also open. There's a desk out there. Also, when you come over here, if you wish to register for Yajman, especially parents, there is an online form which you can fill. Even today we had a couple of parents who had done so, but many of us don't know about it. Those details are once again available at the desk outside.
Annapate annasya no dehiyamunivasya sushminaha prapradataram tarisha udanno dehi vipade chadushpade om shanti shanti shanti. Jauh shanti, antariksham shanti, prithvi shanti, apa shanti, oshadaya shanti, vanaspadaya shanti, Vishvedeva Shanti, Brahma Shanti, Sarvam Shanti, Shanti Deva Shanti, Sama Shanti Redhi, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Sarvebhyo Namah. Thank you. We'll all proceed for the prasadam. Thank you, children.